Okay, so let's continue. It's been a while, but I want to kind of, if I'm gonna stop, I want to stop at some more conclusive point. So let's see. So we've got already some good results. So we have like the main sort of like most complicated part that we needed. What's all this stuff that I have open here? Let me close a few of these things so that they don't distract me. Yeah. I just sort of like, I'm keeping these tabs so that I can use them as links for in the video description later to kind of streamline the process a little bit. So right, EDL. So we have basically generated this most complicated line that we needed, and that's being done for each of this search results, which is great. So that's what we were looking for. So that's what we get as the output of this command. Okay. So now this command only needs to run if opt.edl play is true. So I just can say if opt.edl play, then and then close this entire thing in the conditional statement. So it only runs if we ask it to run. So now it doesn't run, but if I pass -p, it runs. So that's working as expected. Okay, so what else do we need for that EDL to function? Not that much really anymore. Well, I mean, we will have to make an assumption that the video file is named the same as the subtitle file. So basically this is only gonna work, at least in this implementation, if your files are named with the same name, and the only thing that's different is the extension. So for example, we have like the file called, like, say video.mkv, and you have a file like, not in video, just let's just say name.mkv, and then we have a file name dot, let's say en.srt, or just srt, or like de.srt, like for language code. So this only the last part can differ, but the name of the file that comes before the extension and this double extension potentially for the srt files is the part of the file name that can be different. So that's kind of how we are going to be doing it right now, because there is no like way to tell search and subs where each of the video files is, and if there is no video file, then it's not gonna work basically, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. So yeah, and that's really all we need to generate the EDLs. So yeah, okay. So I guess with this we can I mean, the only difference is the, like, we're gonna have two. So what are we gonna have in our like cache directory? Let's think about that. We're gonna have, so it's gonna be, the directory itself is gonna be home slash dot cache slash search and subs, and in there I will be generating temporary files. I'll just put them in that directory for the time being. I don't have any other cache files, and I can't really think of anything else that like, no need for any subdirectories at this point. So we'll need to have 3 EDLs there, the main one, and then one for the video, and one for the subtitles. So what should I call them? I guess like main .edl, video.edl, and maybe subs.edl. I'll call it subtitles, since I'm not abbreviating anything else. Yeah, that's fine. So I guess, like, yeah, that's what we're gonna have there. And the video.edl and the subtitles.edl is only gonna differ when it comes to the file name. So I need to basically figure out the name of that file without the extension, and there's like 2 possibilities: name.lang.srt. So basically like this, like lang can be like, I don't know, however you want to yeah, I guess like this, name and then optionally .lang.srt. So yeah, so I guess I'll just, oh man, what am I gonna do with that? Like, so right now the file name is just this, and that is gonna be the subtitles file name. I mean, I'm not gonna like create like only one version of that and then kind of somehow parse it afterwards and replace all the like .srts with potential language code in the results. I'll just generate 2 outputs right away. That kind of seems like the most sensible approach. So I suppose I'll have to make a function here, and if I'm gonna make a function, I'll have to put it outside of this loop. So this is gonna move now over here. Okay, so function generate EDL line. And let's indent everything properly. So, okay. Now, what parameters does this function? What's like, yeah, what is it gonna take as? Basically, the file name and the subtitle. So, yeah, So this is gonna be parameter 1, and this is gonna be parameter 2 instead. Yeah. So let's see. Why is there like an FI here? Okay. So I'll do here generate EDL. What was it? Line. Then this and a subtitle. So let's see if we get the same output. Yep, seems to be working okay. And so we'll need to do the second one, or rather the second one is actually going to be what we have right now, but the first one we're gonna have to like remove the last part of that file name. Oh, wait a second, how is it gonna like figure out the extension for the videos? That's like, well, okay, I mean this is gonna have to be like a bit of a, yeah, not really great, but I'll just have to like put in a bunch of extensions that I think can be there, like at least for now. I guess I'll have to like improve this later on. I mean, you always discover these things that you didn't think of ahead of time, but I mean, it's no big deal. So like the last two dots basically need to be taken off, or .srt needs to be removed. What if there's like another dot in the file name before that? How can I figure out if that, before the SRT, I mean, maybe something is named like whatever, like name dot blah dot srt, but blah is not a language code but just a part of the file name. Maybe someone has like a video named name.blah dot mkv or something, and then they have this. So like I can't really, yeah, I mean, this is like where it gets like to be a pain. I mean, the information is there basically. It needs to, I guess it needs to remove the SRT and then check if there is a matching video file, and if not, then it needs to try to remove another suffix and see if that's there, and if not, then no can do. But if there is one, then it should use that. I mean, it could also figure out like all the possible language codes and put them in there, but that's maybe again something for later. I don't know how to make it like robust off the top of my head, but bottom line is that this is gonna have to be dealt with separately. Video equals, or let me just say like it could be an audio file like with subtitles. Main file No, I'll just call it file. Or, I mean, like, file has matches. I'll just call it video for now. I'll worry about the cosmetics later. So, so it is gonna be like subtitle remove.srt and then we'll have to like do a check if there is a file called video. It's gonna be already without the SRT. I don't know, like, even if this approach is like really valid, let me sort of like think about it for a second. I mean, I guess so, like, I mean, the best thing to do really would be like find all the language codes and sort of like put them in there. Maybe I can just like leave it at, no, I guess I'll do it like this right now, but then I'll think about the language codes thing like at a later time, at a later point. Then, so if there's a file that's called whatever the subtitle rather, if there's not a video file, a file that is called like the same as the subtitle file but without the .srt at the end, then try basically removing suffix once again. Yeah, I mean, this is sort of like a rough way for now. This should be fine. I can simplify this. I don't need to have this like this. I can just do this. But this is how we're gonna approach this for time being. And then we'll use shell globbing for over here to basically, we're not globbing, no, we're not gonna use glob, or are we gonna use globbing? Yeah, we are, because, but yeah, this is so like prone to, I don't know, MKV, MP4, what else could be there, like WebM, I don't know, AVI, WMV. It's just like there could be a bunch of things. So yeah, this is something to think about later. Maybe there's like a whole other way that makes it all work out, but yeah, not now. So let's see what we have. There's some problem. Tend to perform an arithmetic on field question mark nil value. So let's see if this gives us kind of the sensible output. What do we have actually here? We have a WebM video. So let me ls this, because see what that so it doesn't match anything. Then what is this? What did we get? Echo. Don't ever use echo. I mean, yeah, not a good idea. But this is just for testing. I only ever use it on the command line when I need to just like print out something real quick, or like for testing, like the only two cases. Otherwise, just printf, because it's like, yeah, basically you can't, like with echo, you can never print a line. Just like there's no way to print anything starting with a hyphen. Just like not possible, because it always thinks it's an option, like an optional argument, even if it's not a valid option. Like there's no option k, but it will. Oh, wait a second. That's weird. Maybe there isn't. Like, yeah, I mean, like, okay, I guess like options that don't exist, it does print, but even so like you can't have like -n, -e, like all of those are out of the question, like not possible. And you can't use like, so like let's say you wanted to use an option -n, or like let's say -e, and then you can't use the standard like end of options thing to say that like that's an option. But yeah, I mean, I shouldn't have gotten into this, but this, basically there are cases. I'll probably cover it on another occasion, but there are cases where this just creates problems. I'm just tired right now and I can't think of a good example. But it did create like situations for me where I just couldn't figure out what was going on, but then I realized, oh, it's just like echo can't handle this case, and yeah, for that reason printf is a much better approach, because it always can print whatever it is that you want, regardless of what it starts with or anything. Okay, enough distractions. Let's figure out what's going on here. So this is generating some error. Wait, it shouldn't be this. It should be like !I. Okay, and now oh, this should be like, because I already used the negation here, so it should be like that. And now okay, now we get the right prefix here, and so hopefully now this will sort of like provisionally work, or no, it won't, I guess. Okay, what's wrong then? Okay, the echo just echoed this WebM, so like what's your problem? Like what is this stuff? Attempt to perform arithmetic on field ? Where is this stuff coming from? Can I just like put anything in here and I don't get it. What are you talking about? Like, or does it need the file name for something there? Does it actually need to be a file? Maybe it's because of this conditional, like, no, but why? Like, what's the problem? I don't, man, this doesn't make sense. Like, gosh, I'm getting tired. I should have probably like broken it up into parts earlier, but here I am, so let me kind of finish it somehow and arrive at some sensible conclusion. So, okay, let's just kind of put this all together. So, oh, okay, I think I get it. Yeah, of course, because yeah, because sed takes the parameter 2, but now I'm passing a video in there. Yeah. So like parameter 3, and if it's not set, then use parameter 2. I mean, it's not like really that elegant, I think, but I mean, like, I'm not gonna like duplicate this code. Okay, let me do it like this right now and see, maybe I'll come up with something. So I have to always like do subtitle. I mean, like, in principle, I don't even have to pass in any of these. Like, I can just use those variables like directly inside of the function, but it's okay. Okay, I'm getting lost, I think. Oh, yeah, this, wait, none of them worked? Oh, yeah, okay, I know. Forgot this. Okay. man, okay, like I think, yeah, I'm gonna have to wrap it up pretty soon, like, cause I'm just, I don't think I'm, yeah, I'm getting tired right now. Okay, so, what am I doing? Like, okay, so like this thing seems to be outputting what I need. So what goes into the Lua? Oh man, why do I have this I here still? Okay, this is getting like, this doesn't look very good to me because this code is getting convoluted and unclear. So I think I'm gonna approach it slightly differently. So I'm gonna like dispense with this function. Instead, I'm going to, where's the function? Or wait, oh, okay, yeah. Here's the code again, so I'm gonna put it back. And I'll just, since this is the repeating part, like I'll just put this outside of everything and I'll call this Lua. I had a sed script here. What did I call the sed script cleanup? So I'll call this Lua script convert. Lua script, what does it script do? It generate EDL line. I'll just call it sort of like I've called that function. Move it here next to the sed script. And like bash scripts are best read when they are, I find, when they are sort of like so that you can read them more or less sequentially. So like you know, like this kind of bit of code, it just always the same, so I can abstract it and move it out. But like those other parts, even though there's still a little bit of repetition, like if I just put it outside and start like doing all these convoluted things, it just like becomes incomprehensible when you look at it the next time you open your script. So I'll go for this. Copy the variable name. Yes, here we go. $. $sign paste. Okay. So, man, I've already changed things here, but I guess hopefully I remember this correctly. I'll also put single quotes around the slash, even though it's not necessary, but it's sort of like more semantically clear, so that you know that it's like there's a string being concatenated here. Like, yeah, it looks clearer to me, even though it's like a little nitpicky thing, but I prefer it like that, at least in this case. Like, mostly I just kind of, whenever, like, you know, like bash doesn't have like strings as a data type, but whenever I would use a bit of data in bash in the same way I would use a string and some other programming language like Lua and Python that actually distinguishes strings from numbers, booleans, etc. I would still kind of use quotes to semantically highlight that, like, yeah, this is like a string. It's not, and that way is kind of, it's easier to read things. Okay, so I restored things back to sanity, more or less. Now I just need to like, I just need to pass. Okay, so this part is, yeah, okay. So this is gonna have to move outside of that subshell, and instead I'm gonna assign variables here. Which are gonna be video and subtitle, or no, I can't use subtitle because that's already what I'm like, that variable name is already used. So I guess I'll have to say video file and subtitle file. Oh boy. And I'll set them to the same value initially. Yeah, but then I'll adjust the result afterwards, something like this. So let me see. So if that file starts with // then just assign that to the video file and subtitle file. If not, then assign, then prepend that value with the path to the current working directory, and assign that value to the video file and subtitle file directories, or variables. And so now video file equals video file srt and so yeah, I'm probably gonna mess something up again, but so let's just do the subtitle file one for now. Okay, that works. But like video file, is that making any sense? Yeah, I didn't do the appending here, dot and then glob mkv mp4 webm, what else, wmv avi. That's kind of it for now. Okay, so it figures out the webm there, which is good. And actually, okay, just one little issue though, because yeah, okay, I'll do this outside, and what I'll do is just I'll actually sort of like make it into an array, because there could be like potentially multiple files that match that glob, and if that happens I only need the like the first one, I guess, because there's just like a bunch of guesswork at this point. Yeah, I'll have to figure out, yeah, some thought needs to be put into kind of how to resolve these ambiguities resulting from this. But I mean, as long as the files are named systematically, consistently, then this should work. So yeah. So I mean, I guess, okay, this is just repeating at this point. Maybe I can return to that, do it like I initially thought with a function, cause like why? And the only thing is the different is this, and the rest of it, yeah, I guess there's no point in repeating all of these things. So like, yeah, in this case I'm gonna still yeah, I'm gonna, despite the fact that I already kind of changed my mind once, but I'm gonna change my mind back yet again. Generate edl line, okay, so yeah, this is what we need. Put here. Remove that. Don't need this. And this is gonna be just parameter 1. where is it? Here it is. Generate EDL line video file, generate EDL line subtitle file. Just checking in case there's some weird error or something, but looks okay. So yeah, we have basically two identical lines for each subtitle, or nearly identical, with only differ in when it comes to this file extension. So okay, so now the next question is how to approach the generation of the temporary files. Should I first kind of generate the entire thing within a script and then create the file, or should I just create the file on the fly? I'm thinking on the fly, because it's kind of going through each line, and the EDL will only contain just a bunch of lines that are just go like this, one after another. And then the main EDL is gonna be just very simple, and it only needs to be generated once. So basically, on the other hand, like, yeah, I don't know, I guess I'll just let me think about it as I go. So like the first question that needs to be asked sort of by the script, it's like, well, is there the cache directory, right? If we're doing the EDL play thing. So it doesn't make sense to just like ask for that every time the loop goes through. I'm not gonna obviously do that. So I will put something over here which says is there, like, if there's not a directory which is called cache dir, that's the variable that we created in the beginning of this video, unless I broke this video up into parts later on, but like in the start of the whole process of working on this feature, we created this cache dir, and so now we need to check if it exists, and if it doesn't, basically so we're saying that if the directory does not exist, then make the directory. We'll use the -p option in case it needs to create the cache directory as well, in case that doesn't exist either. And cache dir. And not only this, do we need to check, like, this only needs to be done if we're doing if the opt.edl play is enabled. So like, yeah, if the opt.edl play is set and there's no cache directory, then create it. So there is no cache directory at the moment, so let's test it. I just put the verbose flag here right now, I'll remove it, but I just wanted there to check, just to see that it created the directory. So I clear the screen, and so first let's run without the opt.edl play, and let's see, ls.cache search in subs, no such file or directory. And so now let's do it with the thing. So I can just like, yeah, go ls, and now it's there, and there's probably like a message here somewhere that it was created, even though I don't need to check it because I just checked that the directory exists. But here we go, mkdir created directory such and such. So I can now remove this verbose flag so that it doesn't print out unnecessary messages. So okay, so now the cache directory is gonna get created if it doesn't exist and if it's necessary. Good. So now there's a place where the files can go. So what did I decide that the files are gonna be named again? .edl. So here's my plan. Main.edl, video.edl, and subtitles.edl. Oh man. Okay. So main.edl is gonna be simply, is gonna be like very simple. And actually, maybe it can even be generated before anything else. Or, I mean, what if the search doesn't return any results? Then it doesn't make sense to generate it. And if there is such a situation, then like I won't know that whether or not there were any matches until the entire search has been completed, which means that perhaps I could postpone the entire file generation thing until after the search has been completed, because like otherwise I'll have to put this like generation of the main file in here, and there's gonna be like an if statement. If the main.edl exists, then doesn't exist, then create it. But like it needs to only be done once, and I can only do it once I know, or I need to only do it once I know that there was a reason to create it in the first place. So yeah, let's do the entire thing afterwards. So basically what this if clause is gonna do is it's gonna create our EDL stuff, basically EDL lines. So all these lines need to be stored in arrays. So video EDL lines equals, or plus equals output of this, and subtitles EDL lines plus equals output of this. And yeah, if there's gonna be an array, I'm gonna have to put another set of parentheses around that, and probably, yeah, not probably, but I will need to quote the inside of that too, because if there are spaces there, then it's gonna not gonna work as expected. So yeah, this is okay. Good. Now let's test if those arrays get created the way we expect them to. So basically this is the end of this main search loop, and after that there's only the statistics stuff, and yeah, and then some other minor things, but otherwise the search is complete. So this is our point of at which we need to like worry about the EDL file generation. So declare p, I'm gonna just see what those arrays contain, and the declare function, actually, like, I have my custom function that I created. It needs some work, but it basically just does the same thing as the declare. Let me first show you what the declare does, and then I'll show you my custom one. Declare p video edl lines subtitles edl lines. So the declare function in general, like the declare p, like it's not a function, it's a shell built-in command, but what it does is you can set variables with it, like different values, but you can also print out the contents of the variable. Basically, just here we go. Like in bash code, essentially, like if I were to copy this stuff into the terminal and paste it, this code would run, and like those variables would be created correctly. Obviously this is a huge mess, but you can see that it just says declare a, which means like declare an array, and then it's the name of the variable, and then it like opens the parentheses, and then index 0, index 1, and so on. So this is very useful to see what the array actually contains if it were formatted more in a more readable way. So that's why I created this function, which, yeah, it still needs some work. It doesn't quite. There's some bugs in it basically, but in this case it should work. So now I can see the insides of those arrays, and I can see that they're the same length, and it looks all right, doesn't it? Let's check. And this last line looks the same except for the extension, and let's just pick out, the line before it, for example, 199.3.906 32. Only the extension is different. Okay, so like it looks like we got our arrays ready to go. Great. Okay, so now it's getting somewhere. Man, it's 3 hours and 10 minutes and 11 minutes. It's crazy. Well, let's keep going. So, what's next? Now I need to basically put those things. Well, this is gonna have to again be in an if statement, because again, for the same reason as before, like we need to check if that option is set. Like, yeah, I'm doing it multiple times in different places in the script, but that's the only way, that's actually the most efficient way as far as I can see to do it in this situation. So yeah, multiple checks for the same thing, so that only runs these things where they need to be run. Let me comment this out for now. Maybe I'll need it at some point, so I'm not going to delete it just yet. So okay, so I have these things. So let me just first generate the main file. And I'm not gonna actually generate a file yet. I'll just print out some stuff into the terminal. So printf %s/n. So the first thing is the header. That's always going to be the same. So that's our first thing. Then there's going to be like an empty line. Let me format those files properly, because like there will be an option to keep them, so maybe, you know, makes sense to just like not make them a huge mess. So an empty line, don't need the %s there. Then yeah, let me see. This is actually gonna have to be a separate command. So I'll just print this out, and then I'll run printf. Alright, so this. And we are going to have 3 lines here. The first one so they will need to source, basically, let's say, or like, yeah, point to our other 2 EDL files. So video.edl and subtitles.edl. And the path is going to be cache directory, then / video.edl. So now the escaping thing. I mean, if there are no insane characters like commas or something in this path, which there really shouldn't be, I could just leave it like this, but I don't think that's a good idea. So I am gonna do it properly. So like, let me first just kind of do it roughly, but then I'll clean it up. This and so basically this is the file. Yeah. Now I guess, like, yeah, this is gonna have to be a bit like another Lua script again. I think in this case I can use this, or maybe not. Like, yeah, no, why would I bother with that? Let me just no, if I did the -e, then I'd have to worry about quotes and like all kinds of stuff. No, that's fine. I'm gonna do it this way again. So there's gonna be another printf embedded in here too. Yeah, I don't think I can simplify it any further. In the script, the Lua script is gonna be print format. So arg1 is gonna be the, like this is gonna be the arg1, and in quotes here, percent, yeah, of course, the length to as the argument needs to be passed here, and double percent s double percent s. Yeah, that's the entire thing, I think. Line 348. Okay. Oh, I messed up some quoting or something. I forgot the closing parenthesis here. Or, no, wait a second, not there though. But, what? Print of. Oh, jeez, what is going on? No, wait, like what is that? Like that should be correct. I think it's this. Yeah, okay. So that's one line. So basically I can just copy this and just replace that. I mean, I am repeating this, but I guess I could like I'll just leave it like this. I don't think there's gonna be any more repetition of this particular thing, and it's just like it's a very narrow thing. Should be fine. Let me just check if I have the syntax correct here. New stream. Yeah, looks okay. Okay, so this should be fine. So that's one file. Now, I'll put it in like a code block, or what is it called? Like I don't remember what it's called, but basically I can do this, and then when I'll be actually putting it into a file, well, I can put some code there right now, but I'm not gonna generate the actual file just yet. And basically, like, it's gonna be this, and it's gonna be main.edl, but I'll comment this out for now. So wait, what? Oh, it's because of this. Yeah. So okay, that is taken care of now. Now for the video and the subtitle files. They will be almost the same. They will be actually identical in structure, and all I need to do is, yeah, let me just create first the code for one of them. So it's gonna be this, then followed by, yeah, essentially, yeah, this is gonna be like very simple, I think. Just all of the lines, the entire array is printed out, separated by new lines. So that's video.edl lines and array like this. And here we go. Man, I hope it works. Okay, so and now for the subtitle one. Yeah, I don't need to create anything complicated here. I'll just repeat this thing, and here's the one for the subtitles. Okay, that's done. Now let's put that in. Is that called a code block? What is it called? Bash curly braces block. Okay, I don't know what they're called officially, but let's not dwell on that right now. So this is going to be video.edl. And subtitles.edl. So I think we can test it out, at least in terms of the files that are being that are to be generated. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look what happens. So okay, we have our stuff. Looks sensible. It has absolute paths to the files everywhere, so it should work in MPV. Let's see.
Att man som historielärare måste vara duktig. Alltså om man ska kolla upp en historisk händelse så kollar jag alla Wikipedia.
Att med sina elever skriva på Wikipedia. som ett sätt att lära sig om Wikipedia. Om Wikipedia är helt transparent så kan man hela tiden följa elevernas bidrag.
Och så har vi suttit och skrivit i våra sandlådor först på Wikipedia, så blev vi direkt borttagna en del av Wikipedia-cheferna.
Jag har fått mer respekt för Wikipedia och det här.
Det är väldigt vanligt att elever i gymnasieåldern och uppåt redigerar Wikipedia. För dem är det för svårt att redigera Wikipedia på ett bra sätt. Och sen 2013 så finns ett uppslagsverk som heter Wikimini.
Jättekul att liksom jobba. För man kan ju få in, jag tänker Wikimini och Wikimini.
Alright, so like that's not too bad. I got some crap. I'll put in here unknown or duplicate parameter. I mean, what does that mean? Like, come on. Yeah, it's unlikely that there is anything about that because this EDL functionality is not very kind of widely known. So, a hyphen, like, what are you talking about?
Att man som historielärare måste vara duktig. Alltså om man ska kolla upp en historisk.
Okay, so there is something in the, I guess in both of those, in the video.edl and the subtitles.edl that causes this to happen. What could it be? Could have something to do with the fact that, like, oh, wait a second, I know what it is. I forgot something. I forgot to, because like the title of the chapter has to have actually the word title there, and I don't have it. I don't know how it ended up with that hyphen thing. Yeah, that's a bit of a mystery, but so what do I need to add and where? I guess in that Lua thing, I need to. So here's where our string is being compiled, and so this. Oops. This should have title equals like this. So now let's rerun that. Where is it? Search and subs. P.
Att man som historielärare måste vara duktig. Alltså om man ska kolla upp en historisk händelse så kollar ju alla Wikipedia.
Att med sina elever skriva på Wikipedia.
Okay, now no errors or warnings in the output. Warnings. But none of those. So, okay. Let me fix this indentation a little bit. But okay, so we're almost at a point where it's like basically almost done. The only thing that's left is to take care of actually launching the MPV player to play this file, which is well, not complicated at all. And then if opt.edl keep temporary, if that option's set, then we would want to delete our cache files. So that's gonna be rm, and I'll just put them one after another. And so like at this point the script should kind of stop like and wait for the MPV process to finish. So until you close the player, the files will be there, but once you close it, they'll get deleted. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, let's see what happens.
Att man som historielärare måste vara duktig på... Alltså,
Okay, they're still there, but I kind of thought that what am I missing? Like, let's see first if I got that right. Without any typos or anything.
att man som historielärare...
That's weird. Nothing. Oh, I didn't. Wait, did I? Oh, did I ran MPV like instead of the search and sub script? So that's why it didn't work.
Att man som historielärare måste vara duktig på... Alltså,
Okay, and no, they are still there. So what's the problem?
att man som historielärare...
subtitles keep temporary. Oh no, come on, like of course. If it's not keep temporary, then delete them. Do not keep equals delete.
Att man som historielärare måste vara duktig på... Alltså,
Yes. Let me like just for clarity.
att man som historielärare måste vara duktig...
So here now it's removing them, but if I pass the K,
Att man som historielärare måste vara duktig...
it's not removing them, and they're still there. If I remove the K,
Att man som...
then everything is deleted again. Okay, so I think I've reached a point where it has become something that works. So since I spent 3.5 hours on this, like, which was good, I'm satisfied with this. Like, I didn't expect it to go this long, but I mean, I kind of suspected that it might. So yeah, like, what can I say to conclude this whole adventure? Well, there's a few things that we looked at. Like, in general, Bash is an excellent scripting language in the sense that, like, its whole purpose is to coordinate work between different processes, and that means that you can basically take advantage of like all of the different pieces of software that you have in your computer and make them work together by creating your own scripts, and they kind of become, those scripts become sort of like things of their own, and that's pretty cool. So you can customize things a lot and just create things that you personally find useful and that help you to do whatever your particular needs are. So Bash is an excellent language to learn for that reason, and beyond that, like, it's just it's the default shell, like on Debian, for example. So there's other shells obviously like Z shell and stuff like that, but I mean I kind of learned Bash like I was using it ever since I had a, like not ever since, but at some point when I had a Mac, and like at some point I started learning Bash because I wanted to learn the terminal with the kind of the thought that like eventually I will move to Linux. And so yeah, it's been great. Like let me tell you something. I haven't even like installed a file, sort of like a file explorer software on my Linux computer yet. Like I never needed to, because I can do everything from the command line. Like there's just like absolutely no need for to install something like Thunar or like Dolphin or like whatever else that's out there for like managing your files in a graphical interface. I just kind of never had a need for that. It's not just some kind of like show off thing or whatever. It's just like, it's just not that. It just literally never, there was never a situation where, oh, I need that. Like it's just like never came up. And it's incredibly powerful. You can just like rename files really quickly, just like organize everything, move everything where you need it to with just by typing a command, like telling the computer exactly what you want it to do, and it does it. Like there's a learning curve obviously, and then you should be careful to not, you know, when you start learning something like this, it's good to always have backups of everything, and like because you will most likely make mistakes and delete something by accident, which can be really unfortunate. But I mean, in and of itself, it's nothing to fear. I'm not saying that just to sort of like say that there's anything dangerous about it. Not at all. It's just many people use it, and without any problems, and eventually it becomes a very powerful, completely new way of interacting with your computer. But yeah, that's Bash. Bash is great. So then we took a look at some other things, or like used them in implementing these features. I used a bit of sed here, which is another fantastic tool that is worth learning about. Again, like I mentioned, like here's the manual for sed, and here's like a tutorial series that really helped me to learn it and understand it, and just to get started with it. But then you kind of have to write some scripts yourself to really get a hang of it, and like find some practical uses of it. And now I kind of use it very, very often. Like for example, for my MPV scripts GitHub repo, like all of the different so let me just like open it up to show you. So github.com linguistic mind MPV scripts. Oops. Scripts. It's just like, you know, there's a lot of documentation that just keeps repeating itself. And like, for example, like if I go to just like the first scripts page, there's all these sections like key bindings, like this table, for example, and this is probably a very simple script, but there's others that are more complicated and they have more stuff. And like, yeah, so like options. And I just have a sed script that basically reads my Lua scripts and it just compiles this table. And like it's an incredible tool, and it saves a lot of time once you kind of set up that script and you do things consistently like you do things consistently in such a way that that script kind of you know, you can't cover all the cases. Like you can't just like write things willy-nilly, so there has to be some kind of standard way that you write your scripts and that things are formatted there, so that, but I kind of do that anyways because I like my code to be nice and tidy. But then you can set up this script that will like generate documentation, for example. That's just like a lot of there's a lot of value in it, and it's way more than just like simple search and replace command. because like it seems like that's the most well-known part of it, and like perhaps some people might think that it's just something like really outdated and archaic um, in terms of it, like yeah, as a tool, but it's not. Like it's a very powerful tool, and it's really worth learning about. So yeah, so we took a look at the SED and its own language a little bit, and it is a programming language. So yeah, SED is fantastic, and then Lua again. Lua is also pretty great. Like it's kind of the MPV uses it, so you can like write scripts for MPV with Lua, and awesome window manager uses it. I like my previous like the previous live coding video that I made was about configuring awesome window manager, and that used Lua. So it's also very powerful and very useful to know. But like overall, the search and sub script, it's kind of, I guess like that's one of the first things where I like actually implemented something with SED, and yeah, I'm quite satisfied with the result. So it's nice to be able to implement things like this where a tool gets integrated with other things like MPV player. Now I can play the search results. So there's probably still some things to work out here, because I just kind of got to this point where it's working, but I still haven't like implemented this save files feature, for example, but that's something for later. And yeah, we also like ran into that thing with like how to recognize the video file, the video file's name, how to determine it consistently, and like yeah, that's also something to think about. I also came across that like one thing, like I don't know if I can find it right now, I can't recall the name of the tool, but basically a way to read subtitle files from like an MKV file or an MP4 file that like has them embedded into it. So that would be also nice to kind of nice if search and subs was able to read from those files too. So that just kind of another thought of like another feature that could be added. But yeah, that's something for the future. And that would also like in turn affect how this functionality works, because then it's not just a separate SRT file, it's like an embedded thing, and then there's probably going to be something to adjust when it comes to this EDL play functionality too, but we'll see about that. That's something for the future. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you found it valuable and interesting, and I'll see you in the next one.